Scaling a digital health platform in 2026 requires product managers to master three distinct disciplines simultaneously: marketing, clinical operations, and federal law. A flawless App Store strategy provides zero value if the clinical side of the operation collapses and leaks patients before they ever receive care. Conversely, a seamless clinical experience can be bankrupted overnight by a single federal compliance violation. Solving for profitability requires engineering the platform as a single, continuous pipeline that maps the entire lifecycle of a patient. This architecture uses three zones: storefront for acquisition, gateway for routing, and vault for archival. A user's journey begins as a digital trace from an App Store search. That data routes through clinical intake, converting into protective health information, where it's archived for years. Architecting these stages as a unified system is the only reliable way to build a platform that is both profitable and compliant. Historically, App Store optimization relied on static text fields and basic keyword descriptions to drive visibility. In 2026, Apple's optical character recognition technology now actively indexes the text embedded directly inside app screenshots. This shift forces product managers to treat screenshots as indexable content, intentionally overlaying visual assets with the specific language users search for. Custom product pages faced a similar limitation, as they were previously restricted to paid acquisition campaigns. Recent keyword linking updates now allow these tailored landing pages to surface directly in organic search results. Platforms can now publish up to 70 distinct custom product pages to capture highly specific organic search intents at scale. While Apple expanded discovery, Google Play pivoted toward visibility weighted heavily by user engagement. Google integrated the Engage SDK and the personalized You tab directly into the Android Store experience. These systems measure post-download behavior, rewarding apps that keep users returning while suppressing those with high initial downloads but immediate churn. The data reflects this focus on retention. Across the board, app re-downloads currently outpace new downloads by a 2-to-1 margin. Top-of-funnel acquisition is no longer a discovery problem, it is a retention problem, as the algorithms now require proof of downstream engagement to maintain visibility. Once a user clears the storefront, they enter the gateway, the layer where monetization and clinical onboarding occur. Leaders in the meditation space, like BetterSleep, have shifted towards strict annual subscriptions to ensure a committed user base. To reduce the friction of a large annual charge, these paywalls rely on psychological anchors. A prominent "No Payment Now" label reminds users they have a 7-day window before the transaction completes. However, processing these payments through the App Store comes with a 30% revenue share tax. Platforms like Calm avoid this by removing in-app free trials entirely, forcing users to register via the web to secure a lower price point. While the paywall secures revenue, the transition to a medical professional is where many platforms experience catastrophic operational leakage. In 2026, patient access remains a bottleneck. Average wait times for new patient dermatology appointments have reached 36.5 days. This chart shows the systemic cost of poor routing. Nearly 59% of patients referred from urgent care to a specialist drop out of the pipeline entirely. This massive patient loss stems from an infrastructure failure, specifically clinics attempting to share critical data using manual legacy tools. Modern platforms solve this by converting inbound faxes into actionable electronic structured records using AI-powered processing. Without automated workflow routing, digital health platforms bleed revenue and patient outcomes before the clinical care even begins. After care is delivered, the user becomes a fully acquired patient, and their protected health information enters the vault. The financial stakes of the compliance layer are severe. Covered entities face fines of up to nearly $69,000 for a single data violation. The HIPAA security rule establishes the federal baseline for how organizations must maintain operational and security documentation. The federal standard requires risk assessments, security policies, and breach reports be retained for 6 years. State laws often have longer mandates. California hospitals hold records for 7 years post-discharge, while Texas mandates a 10-year retention period. HIPAA rules only supersede these local laws when the state laws offer fewer protections. If the state law is stricter, it takes precedence. Systems architects must build dynamic storage rules that automatically apply different archival mandates based on the patient's geographic location. database storage operates as an active architecture, strictly governed by the conflicting clocks of state and federal law. The 2026 Digital Health Platform functions as a synchronized loop, integrating the storefront, the gateway, and the vault into a single lifecycle. To feed the top of the funnel, platforms must exploit organic custom product ages and treat visual assets as indexable text. To maintain margins and outcomes, the system must bypass marketplace fees and automate the clinical workflows that lose 58% of referrals. And to protect the enterprise, the data architecture must autonomously map federal minimums against the highest watermark state laws. Success in the current market depends on rigorous systems engineering that scales clinical efficacy through the precision of